On July 3rd, Deputy David Five-Eye of the San Diego Sheriff's Department collapsed in a parking lot. The Sheriff's Department released the body cam footage of the event, claiming that Five-Eye had overdosed from coming into contact with fentanyl while on duty.
I remember just not feeling right, and then I fall back, and I don't remember anything after that.
Just breathe, buddy.
Trying to get him to focus on just breathing, and because, you know, that fentanyl, you can't breathe.
It was in an instant. It's as though my lungs just locked up. I couldn't breathe. I was trying to gasp for breath, but I couldn't breathe at all.
Five-Eye, you okay? Talk to me.
Sorry.
Oh, no. Don't be sorry. You're okay. Don't be sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. I got you, okay? I'm not gonna let you die.
After Deputy Five-Eye fell backward, his field training officer gave him doses of Narcan, a nasal spray used to combat the effects of an opioid overdose.
It's an invisible killer. He would have died in that parking lot if he was alone.
Deputy Five-Eye showed no reaction to the Narcan and was taken to a hospital by emergency medical workers and later recovered.
And he was ODing the whole way to the hospital.
I don't think people realize the severity of just how deadly it really is. I'm Deputy David Five-Eye, and I almost died of fentanyl overdose.
The San Diego sheriff claimed he released the video to raise awareness about the increasing rates of fentanyl overdoses and to encourage first responders to proceed with caution when handling the substance. The sheriff also reiterated that fentanyl is so deadly you can overdose by simply touching the opiate, and that Five-Eye was lucky to still be alive.
Being exposed to just a few small grains of fentanyl could have deadly consequences.
Problem is, that isn't true. I'm Rayy Vana, and welcome back to Rebel HQ. Experts from both the American College of Medical Toxicology and the American Academy of Clinical Toxicology released a joint statement in 2017 which said the chances of becoming ill through skin contact or inhalation with fentanyl are extremely low. Leo Beletsky, a professor of law and health sciences at Northeastern University, responded to this specific event involving the San Diego deputy on Twitter, saying a video of a sheriff's deputy ODing after touching fentanyl went viral. Except, it's impossible to OD from touching fentanyl. Ryan Marino, a UPMC emergency medicine physician and toxicologist, expressed his frustrations with the misinformation being spread by the San Diego Police Department on Twitter as well, saying, "This is not a fentanyl OD. I know because it's a clinical diagnosis. Also, because you can't overdose just from being near fentanyl." This is not the only story of a police department claiming that one of their officers almost lost their life because of contact with fentanyl.
You start to feel a little funny?
Yeah, as I walked through the door, I was almost pulled back by an alert colleague, another officer. "What's this white powder?" And that's when I reached back. I accidentally came in contact.
So a total of 4 doses of Narcan?
Yes, for simply touching that and or inhaling.
Am I being a little over dramatic here to say you could have died?
I don't think so. When you hear about these stories, you think, that's only on TV. It's not going to happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. This drug doesn't care who it kills.
No conscience.
No conscience.
In fact, the Department of Drug Enforcement's own training videos contain the same claim.
In the process of sealing the bag, just out of force of habit, I grabbed the bag and I closed it up, forcing the air out of it so I get a good seal. And when I did that, a bunch of it poofed up into the air.
I felt like my body was shutting down. People around me said that I looked really white, I lost color. And it just really felt like, thought that was it. I thought I was dying. That's what my body felt like. If I can imagine or describe a feeling where your body's completely shutting down and preparing to stop living, that's the feeling I felt.
So what is causing these police officers to experience side effects after coming into contact with fentanyl? Dr. Marino says it's something called the nocebo effect. The nocebo effect is similar to the placebo effect, where people participating in scientific studies report positive outcomes after receiving a fake treatment. The nocebo effect is the phenomenon where even thinking a substance is harmful can lead to exposed people experiencing negative side effects. The symptoms the first responders are experiencing are real, but they are not caused by fentanyl, and they are not even symptoms associated with fentanyl overdoses. The symptoms of actual opioid toxicity usually include depressed mental status, decreased respiratory rate, shallow breathing, and constricted pupils. Narcan, the medicine that rapidly reverses an opioid overdose, may be necessary if the affected individual's body has gone limp, is pale in the face, if their fingernails and their lips are blue, if they are vomiting and gurgling, if they cannot speak or be awakened, and if their breathing or their heartbeat is very low. The only way to overdose from fentanyl is to inject, snort, or ingest it. You cannot overdose from secondhand contact. It is crucial that first responders have the correct information when handling fentanyl. Dr. Marino recommends that first responders practice universal precautions, use gloves when handling substances, wash any skin exposure with water, and wear N95 masks if the responders desire. Hazmat suits are not necessary when handling fentanyl. When it comes to the opioid epidemic, the spread of misinformation can have deadly consequences. It's important that first responders are given training that agrees with the science and that the public is educated with the facts.